In this video, we are going to deal with the topic real and apparent depth. In this topic, we are going to talk about something that we've seen so often in our daily life as well. That is, whenever we have something placed in a denser medium and we look at this object from the rarer medium, that is when we look at it from air. So what happens is we see that this object appears to be raised up. Therefore, O is the original position of the body. I is the position the body appears to be at when it is viewed from the rarer medium. Thereby, AO is the real depth of the body, AI is the apparent depth of the body, and IO here is the value by which the body appears to shift from its original position. So therefore, IO is simply called the shift of the body. Now, why does this happen? This happens, of course, because of refraction of light. What happens is, since the body is placed at O, a ray of light starting from O moves in this direction, and this OB, so to say, is now the incident ray. And the ray of light, of course, is coming from the denser medium. Now, whenever a ray of light comes from a denser medium to a rarer medium, what happens is the ray of light bends away from the normal, as you can see. And when you're watching, it appears to you, it appears to your eye that this ray of light is coming from a position here. Therefore, I is the apparent or new position of the body. You must have noticed this phenomenon when you're standing beside a swimming pool. It seems to us that the bottom of the swimming pool
What happens is it seems that the bottom of the vessel appears to be raised up. Not just in case of a swimming pool, any vessel that is filled up with a liquid, say water, what happens is it seems that the bottom of the vessel appears to be raised up.
These phenomena are related to real and apparent depth. Now it is seen that the refractive index of this denser medium with respect to the rarer medium is given by mu dr, which is equal to real depth upon apparent depth. You only need to remember this equation. Its derivation is not required according to your syllabus. But if you want to see how we get this equation, you can look for that in your textbook. So from this equation, apparent depth is equal to real depth upon mu dr. Therefore, the shift IO can be calculated by subtracting the apparent depth AI from the real depth AO. So therefore, the shift is given by real depth minus the apparent depth. Therefore, shift is equal to real depth minus apparent depth, which is equal to real depth minus apparent depth being given by this. So therefore, we are simply substituting the value for apparent depth, and therefore we get shift is real depth into 1 minus 1 upon refractive index of the denser medium with respect to the rarer medium. Now, these are two equations that you need to remember. You might get numericals based on these equations.
Now, let us also quickly give a look at the factors affecting the shift. The first factor is the refractive index of the medium. Now, we've already seen that more is the refractive index of a medium, more will be the bending of light in it. So therefore, more the bending of light, more will be the shift. The second factor is the thickness of the denser medium. It is seen that more the thickness of the denser medium, more will be the shift. You can make that out from this picture also. Say for example, if the denser medium was only this thick, then refraction would occur at this particular point. So therefore, this object would appear to be somewhere over here, thereby decreasing the value of the shift. So do remember, greater the thickness of the denser medium, more will be the shift. And finally, the third factor is the wavelength or the color of light. Now we've already seen that the refractive index of a medium is greater for violet light than the refractive index of the same medium for red light, which means violet light in that medium bends more than red light. So therefore, the shift is more for violet light and lesser for red light. So these are the three factors on which the shift depends. Let us also now quickly give a look at the apparent bending of a stick under water.
So here we have a stick XOP, half of which is immersed in water. So when we look at this stick from the air, we see that the stick appears to be bent. See two rays of light from the tip of the stick here that bends at these points. Now the bending of light not just takes place from the tip of the stick, but it takes place from every point of the stick that is immersed under water. Now what you all need to do is you all need to practice drawing this picture.